Alright guys, we're back today with Kat, and we wanted to work this lesson as a way to kind of show you guys. And we've had a couple people that want to start teaching the dog to stay with the collar. So remember, we've only used the collar to teach the dog to come in the beginning. We have another little episode about that here in a minute. But now we want to start teaching the dog to down with the collar. And I know, David, you said the dog wouldn't stand, stay, and all that. And I will tell you, there's very limited practical application for a stand, stay, unless you're planning on putting the dog in dog shows. We just choose one behavior to teach the dog to remain stationary. You can either use a sit, a stand, or a down, but for practical purposes, the down is going to be the most effective. So we really want to think of down and stay in the same little family. They're not completely different things. So I'm just going to kind of show you with this dog how we're going to start using that to teach the dog to stay with the collar. So we've started out being able to get the dog to down, and I will tell you this dog did resist a great deal. So we'll have to backtrack when we get a different one to kind of show you how that goes. But once you get him downing, and this dog is 3 years old, most dogs by that age, they have some idea what down is. The problem that you run into is they also know that A, they're going to give up and not make me do it, and B, they're not going to enforce the command. So that's the problem that you run into with older dogs. But I mean, when people say, oh, they have to know all these commands before you use the collar, at 3 years old, they know this stuff. So anyway, we'll just go up and back. We're using our treats. For right now, I'm putting my foot on the collar to make sure the dog stays there. So what we're going to help the dog to understand is I want you to remain stationary and in this position. So it's going to go up and back a couple times. Cat heel. And at this point in the training, we're only doing the turn away, and we're going to do a little bit on the turn towards in a minute. You can see how loose I've got the leash. Good girl. Good girl. Heel. Heel. So you should have him heeling good before you do this. Down. We're doing our little indicator with the foot, and that's me. You see I'm getting the curled under paw. At this point, since the dog really doesn't know the word stay, I'm just going to use down to reinforce it. Down. Good. So that's how you're going to start out, you guys. What we don't want to do is make the dog stay, and then back away. Until you can go a small circle around, and it looks easy, but in the beginning, you may take one step and the dog will get up. Good girl. No, down. Good. Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl. She's such a good girl. No, down. So watch the body language. Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl you are. No, down. Good girl. Good girl. Good. What a good girl. So that's where you want to start out, teaching the dog to understand, I want you to remain stationary, and I'm going to use the collar to reinforce that. You can eventually make bigger and bigger circles down, but until you can get, and a lot of dogs don't like you going behind them. As soon as you go behind them, then they kind of scoot around and try to face you. Good girl. Good girl. Good. No, down. Good. Good girl. So go right back. The fact that it made a mistake, we're not going to hold that against the dog. Good girl. Good girl. We're basing it only on its behavior at that moment. So if it gets up, we're going to say down. The second it goes back down, then we're happy again. Cat heel. Down. Good. Good. So that's why I didn't really have to say stay right there. I've kind of already... No, down. Down. No. Down. Good. Down. Heel. So same thing, and what we like to do is bring them back to the same spot. Down. Good girl. In the beginning, take them back to the spot where they already had success. Good girl. Good girl. So you can see I got the paw curled under. Well, she uncurled it, but good girl. Good girl. She's a good girl. Good girl. All right, guys, so that's where you want to start out. We're going to do the same thing here with the other little dog in a minute. Down. But that's where you want to start out. Don't try to make them stay and back away, walk away. In order to help them understand, I need you to stay still. We really need to just, go this far away. If we can't make them stay this far, and it seems easy, but I'm telling you guys, it's not. Good girl. Good girl. All right, so we're going to keep working on Cat, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.